Your complete walkthrough for A Guide to Better Castle Keeping, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Here's something most players don't realize. This seemingly simple party planning quest is actually the culmination of 3 major storylines, and missing even one detail could leave you stuck. But here's where it gets controversial. A Guide to Better Castle Keeping serves as the 4th major realm quest within Disney Dreamlight Valley's expansive Return to Beast's Castle content update. This particular mission becomes available only after you've successfully completed 3 prerequisite quests: The Haunting of the Beast's Castle, A Growing Mystery, and Bell, Book, and Candle. The premise? You've just received an enigmatic invitation to attend a masquerade ball, complete with an elegant mask. Now it's time to roll up your sleeves and help prepare for what promises to be an unforgettable celebration. Although Lumiere and Cogsworth insist they can handle the bulk of the preparations themselves, there's still quite a bit of work that requires your personal touch. Quest Objectives Overview. Locate the fine cutlery, arrange the table settings. Gather all ingredients for the charcuterie board. Ooh, oyster and creepy crawly crab, chilling cucumber bouillard cheese, screamed butter. Prepare the charcuterie board recipe and position it on the table adjacent to the piano. Collect crafting materials from the garden area: castle softwood, rainbow rose bouquet, castle detritus. Create and install rose garlands throughout the hall. Don the masquerade mask and capture a photograph with Cogsworth and Lumiere. Travel back to Dreamlight Valley. Accompanied by Lumiere, have a conversation with the Beast at his residence. Deliver the letter to Cogsworth and make your way back to Dreamlight Valley. Step 1. Locate the fine cutlery. Once you've had your initial conversation with Cogsworth regarding his elaborate party arrangements, your first official task in A Guide to Better Castle Keeping involves retrieving the fine cutlery, which is stored away in the garden cellar. Think of this as your warm-up exercise. It's straightforward but essential. To successfully locate the cellar entrance, make your way down the main hall and follow the winding corridor as it curves toward the left until you reach the garden area. From the garden entrance steps, use these as your reference point. You'll spot a set of double doors adorned with distinctive silver handles, positioned down the slope on your left side. Interact with these doors. Then press the transfer button to move the fine cutlery from its storage location directly into your personal inventory. Step 2. Arrange the table settings. Your next objective requires you to backtrack to the main hall, the same location where you initially spoke with Cogsworth. To properly place the fine cutlery on the dining table, you'll need to interact with the impressive U-shaped table that sits adjacent to the grand piano. This is a centerpiece of the room, so you can't miss it. Once you've interacted with the table, transfer the fine cutlery from your inventory menu into the table's storage system to complete the table setting. The moment you do this, you'll notice a collection of elegant tiered plates magically appear on the table. But here's the catch. They're completely empty. Time to speak with Lumiere to discover what culinary delights he has planned for the party menu. Step 3. Gather all ingredients for the charcuterie board. Lumiere reveals that among the various dishes he intends to serve at the celebration, a charcuterie board takes center stage. He requests your assistance in tracking down the necessary ingredients scattered throughout various locations within the castle before you can assemble and present them on the table. This step requires a bit of detective work and exploration. Consider it a scavenger hunt with a gourmet twist. Oyster and creepy crawly crab. Obtain the oyster and creepy crawly crab. Yes, those are their actual names. The castle's haunted nature extends to the food. Navigate to the storage room situated next to the castle library. Once inside, examine the wooden storage box positioned next to 2 barrels at the rear of the room. To reach this storage area, ascend the staircase located at the far end of the main hall. Then proceed through the Beast's private chamber, also known as the West Wing. Inside this particular storage box, you'll discover both the oyster, described in-game as a haunted shellfish, spooky, right? And the creepy crawly crab, which is labeled as a haunted delicacy. Transfer both items from the crate storage into your inventory by interacting with them. Chilling cucumber, For the chilling cucumber, head back inside the library and make an immediate left turn. You'll find this ingredient resting on the right side of a table, tucked away in the top left corner of the library room. It's easy to overlook if you're rushing, so take your time scanning the area. Gruyere cheese. The castle library also houses the Gruyere cheese. Notice the clever wordplay on Gruyere? You can locate this cheese on a table positioned to the right of the central globe that serves as a focal point in the library. The globe is hard to miss, making this ingredient relatively easy to find. Screamed butter. The final ingredient required for your charcuterie board is called screamed butter, another playful pun on creamed butter. You'll discover this item sitting on a small table directly in front of the fireplace within the castle library. Once you've collected this, you'll have everything you need. Step 4. Prepare the charcuterie board recipe and position it on the table. The next task in your A Guide to Better Castle Keeping journey involves actually cooking the charcuterie board recipe using all those wonderfully spooky ingredients you've just gathered. Head to the cooking station located in the storage room next to the castle library. This is the same cooking station you used to create the fireplace fuel during the Haunting of the Beast's Castle quest, so it should feel familiar. You'll need to combine all 5 ingredients: the oyster, creepy crawly crab, chilling cucumber, Gruyere cheese, and screamed butter. Once you've successfully prepared the dish, make your way back to the hall where the grand piano stands and interact with the table to place your freshly made charcuterie board. The moment you do this, something magical happens. The spooky dish instantly appears on every single plate arranged on the table. However, don't celebrate just yet. The party preparations are far from complete. Speak with Cogsworth once more to learn what additional tasks he needs your help with. Step 5. Collect crafting materials from the garden area. Cogsworth believes that some decorative rose garlands would provide the perfect finishing touches to the party preparations, which means it's time to venture back outside and gather materials from the garden. Return to the castle garden, the same area where you previously found the fine cutlery. But this time, instead of searching the cellar, you'll need to collect the following specific ingredients from various locations around the garden grounds. Castle softwood. You'll need to collect a total of 8 pieces of castle softwood from the garden area. There's a good chance you may have already gathered some of these during your previous quests, specifically when you were removing night thorns and breaking statues in the Haunting of the Beast's Castle and a Growing Mystery quests. If you haven't reached the required amount yet, thoroughly search the castle garden for any remaining statues that can be broken or night thorns that can be cleared. Both yield castle softwood as a reward. Rainbow Rose Bouquet. The Rainbow Rose Bouquet is a quest item that should already be automatically present in your inventory from completing the A Growing Mystery quest. You'll need 3 Rainbow Rose Bouquets total to satisfy this requirement. If you can't immediately see them, double-check your inventory to ensure they haven't been accidentally moved to your personal housing storage. Castle Detritus. Finally, to obtain Castle Detritus, search for a brown storage bag located beside the pillar to the right of the crafting station at the back section of the castle garden. Interact with this brown bag to collect and transfer 3 pieces of Castle Detritus from the bag's storage directly into your inventory. The game provides a helpful description defining Castle Detritus as bits and pieces left over from various repairs, essentially construction scraps that are perfect for crafting. Step 6. Create and install rose garlands throughout the hall. Your next step involves crafting the rose garlands, which you can accomplish using the crafting station in the castle garden, conveniently located right next to where you just found the Castle Detritus. You'll find the rose garlands recipe listed in the functional items menu within the crafting station interface. After you've crafted the garlands, return once again to the hall with the grand piano and interact with the archways near where Cogsworth is standing to place the rose garlands near the windows. You'll need to transfer the rose garlands from your inventory into the window storage system. The moment you complete this action, the window archways become beautifully decorated with stunning, multicolor roses. that transform the entire atmosphere of the hall. Cogsworth will be absolutely delighted with your handiwork. Step 7. Don the masquerade mask and capture a photograph. One of the final tasks remaining is to actually enjoy the party you've worked so hard to prepare. Using the wardrobe menu, equip the masquerade mask you received with your invitation. Then position yourself to take a commemorative photo with Lumiere and Cogsworth in front of the rose garlands you just installed. This captures the special moment and marks the successful completion of the party preparations. Afterward, take a moment to listen as Lumiere and Cogsworth reminisce about old times and share their memories. Then speak with both Cogsworth and Lumiere to discover what happens next in the story. Step 8. Travel back to Dreamlight Valley accompanied by Lumiere. Following your conversation with Lumiere, you'll learn that he's genuinely eager to rejoin Belle and the Beast in the valley. Exit the Beauty and the Beast realm and leave the Dream Castle to return to Dreamlight Valley with Lumiere in tow, officially welcoming him to the valley. This action unlocks Lumiere as an official valley villager, meaning he'll now be a permanent resident you can interact with and assign tasks to. As a bonus, though it's not required to complete this particular quest, Lumiere will also give you a birthday party invitation when you welcome him to the valley. Keep this for future events. Step 9. Have a conversation with the Beast at his residence. After you finish talking with Lumiere and properly welcoming him to Dreamlight Valley, head inside Belle and Beast's house and initiate a conversation with the Beast regarding Lumiere's arrival. However, the Beast immediately wants to know where Cogsworth is, noting that the loyal majordomo has been somewhat reluctant to abandon his duties at the castle. The Beast decides that an official letter from him ordering Cogsworth to come to the valley should be enough to change his mind. Step 10. Deliver the letter to Cogsworth and make your way back. Your next objective, in a guide to better castle keeping, requires you to return to the Beauty and the Beast realm one final time to speak with Cogsworth and deliver the letter from the Beast. Upon reading the letter, Cogsworth agrees to join Dreamlight Valley immediately. Duty calls, after all. Exit the Beauty and the Beast realm and the Dreamlight Castle to return to Dreamlight Valley with Cogsworth, welcoming him to the valley just as you did with Lumiere. This action unlocks Cogsworth as a playable character, and he officially joins the valley as a permanent villager. Have a brief conversation with Cogsworth, then make your way back to the Beast's house one last time. The final step involves speaking with Cogsworth to complete the heartwarming reunion, with both characters now welcomed back to the valley by Belle and Beast, and officially residing in their home. Quest complete, a guide to better castle keeping. But here's the part most people miss. This quest isn't just about party planning. It's actually about reuniting a family and bringing the Beast's most loyal servants back to where they belong. Some players argue that Cogsworth and Lumiere should have been unlocked earlier in the storyline, while others appreciate the narrative build-up. What do you think? Did this quest feel like a satisfying conclusion to the Return to Beast's Castle storyline, or should the developers have structured it differently? Should party preparation quests be this elaborate, or would you prefer more action-oriented missions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious whether you loved this quest or found it tedious.